Bottom of the first inning, Allie Thiessen leading off for the Wildcats. Dakota Brooks with the solo home run in the top of the first inning, putting the Vikings ahead 1-0. Initially calling the ground rule double before I think everyone realized it's very tough for a ball to hop that fence out in right center. Kasner delivering to Thiessen. That one's outside. Count is 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0 is outside. It's 3 balls, no strikes. Apologize for not getting the top half of the inning in, dealing with some hot spot issues out here. The 3-0 skips in the dirt, and Thiessen has a leadoff walk for the Wildcats, and now Harley Carpenter will stand in. Now batting, the second baseman, number 25, Harley Carpenter. For the Wildcats, Allie Thiessen, Harley Carpenter, Teresa Moyle, Maddie Zur. Alyssa Benthagen is the catcher hitting 5th. Sydney Brown, Lacey Bannon, the designated player in the 7th spot. Dwyer, and then Cruz round out the lineup with Stanfield in the circle. First pitch to Carpenter, a called strike 0-1 for the Vikings. Brooks is at first, Shimabukuro at second, Marino at third, Dow at short, left to right across the outfield, McDowell, Lowe, and Palmer. Behind the plate is Hardy, and in the circle is Anna Kasner, who is well on her way to setting the GNAC record. That bunt is popped up, and the throw from Kasner's going to get away. Thiessen's going to advance to second as the throw comes in late. If you're scoring at home, it's P1BU as Moyle comes up. Now batting the right fielder, number 13, Teresa Moyle. Charge and error to Kasner, the first one of the ball game. First pitch to Moyle, a called strike on the outside corner. Kasner needs just 92 strikeouts to reach the GNAC all-time career record. Foul back right at the backstop from Moyle. 0-2 from Kasner. Moyle last weekend against Puget Sound drove in 5. Had a couple of 3-baggers on the weekend as well. The Wildcats put up over 30 runs without the help of the long ball. Moyle comes in hitting .667. The 0-2. That one's upstairs, trying to get her to chase, but she would not offer at it. The count moves to 1-2. One, 2 is outside. Hardy will go with it, and the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Wildcats right fielder, Moyle, the former catcher, now spends her days in the outfield. Swing and a dribbler to first. Brooks will field it, and she will move into the tag as Moyle did her best to avoid it. That'll bring up Maddie Zur. Now batting, the first baseman, number 19, Maddie Zur. Check swing from Zur. She did not go around. And the count will be 1-0. 12 pitches, 5 strikes from Kasner. 2 outs on the inning. Carpenter popped up a bunt. And Thiessen advanced on the error. That one misses. The count is 2-0 to Maddie Zur. That one in for a called strike. 2-1 finds the inside corner. Foul backing out of play from Zur. The 2-2 outside. Count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes for the Wildcats' first baseman. Fly ball to middle of left field. That'll be caught as drifting towards the line was McDowell, and that will end the first inning of play. Wildcats trail 1-0 as we head to the top of the second. Top of the second inning. Western Washington leading 1-0 on the home run from Brooks in the first. The inning's first offering to Lauren Lowe, the center fielder, is a called strike, 0-1. That one is just up above the letters, called the ball. It's 1-1 from Stanfield. On the ground, a second. Carpenter, the throw, not going to get her. It'll be an infield single. Now batting, the third baseman, number 14, Megan Marino. Lauren Lowe able to beat that one out. Tough play for Carpenter, moving to her right, dropping down to one knee on that backhand, and just not quite enough time to retire the Vikings center fielder. So now Marino will stand in as Stanfield gets the sign and delivers. That one's upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. In the air, right on a line. Moyle will make the grab. Had to go up. But the catch is made for out number 1. Now batting the right fielder, number 5, Mackenzie Palmer. First pitch to Palmer, a ball. That one's over for a called strike. 1-1. Top of the second inning here on a beautiful day in Ellensburg, about 60 degrees. Not a whole lot of wind as of yet. Clear and sunny. This is on the ground and foul as Dwyer will scoop it up. One ball, 2 strikes. The Vikings right fielder. Off speed. Not going to chase after it. A good pitch low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Palmer hitting .333 through the first 4 games of the season. 3 for 9. A run scored. Swing and a miss there. That will be strikeout number 1 on the innings. 2 down now as McDowell will stand in. Now batting the left fielder, number 9, Tori McDowell. First pitch finds the strike zone. 0-1 to McDowell. That one's in as well. Call the strike. 0-2. The Wildcats and Vikings about a year ago. 7 days short, actually, of a year ago. We're playing at this very field when news was handed down that the GNAC season would be suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And here we are a year later. No spectators at events, but we are able to get some events in. And it has been a wild 11, 12 months as this one is popped up. Shallow center field. Brown going back. She will make the grab for the inning's final out. In shallow center. The Vikings get one hit. They leave one stranded as we head to the bottom of the second. It'll be Benthagen leading off for Central when we return. Bottom of the second inning. Bottom of the second inning. Benthagen leading things off here. Power source came out of my headset or my microphone mixer board there. It was treated to a real nice sound in my ear. Wildcats catcher swings and misses. And the count now 0-2. Wildcats come into the weekend as the NCAA D2's best hitting team, although just 2 games in. Kasner winds and delivers, and that one's upstairs. Count 1-2. Benthagen 400 through the 2 games, 2 for 5, a run scored, 1 double, and 3 runs driven in. Also drew 1 walk in the doubleheader last weekend against Puget Sound. And the right-hander in the circle. Kasner winds, delivers the 1-2. Got her swinging on the outside corner for out number 1. Now batting the shortstop, number 23, Sydney Brown. And here is Sydney Brown, the Wildcat shortstop. Kasner on the season 2-0, an ERA of 1.62, a whip down below 1 at 0.92. First pitch to Brown misses 1-0. Kasner's allowed just 3 runs on 7 hits over 13 innings, and she struck out 21, make it 22, as Benthagen went down for the inning's first out. Here's the 1-0 now to Brown. That one pops out of the middle of Hardy. And it's 2 balls, no strikes. When I worked in the minor leagues as a bat boy for the Greenville Drive, a few umpires told me it's got to be a strike to catch it. Or excuse me, you got to catch it for it to be a strike. And that one was certainly close. Now the 2-0 from Brown. Inside, Kasner goes to 3-0. Kasner winds and delivers the 3-0. Brown swinging away on the 3-0. Couldn't make contact. That's going to be on the outside corner. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Wildcat shortstop. Bannon waits on deck for the Wildcats. Kasner winds and delivers the payoff pitch. Inside corner, got her looking, back-to-back strikeouts for the right-hander from Western, and there are 2 down here on the inning. Now batting, the designated player, number 15, Lacey Bannon. Bannon, .333 in 2 games last weekend, 1 for 3, and she did draw 4 walks. That OBP up at 714 in the first 2 games of the season. That one misses off the inside corner. Bannon backs away from it. 1 ball, no strikes from Kasner. One 0 is over for a called strike, 1-1. That one's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bannon will work the count here against Kasner. The Vikings with light blue visors, light blue socks with that middle hockey stripe. 2-1, up and in, just misses. 3 balls, 1 strike. And then navy jerseys, navy pants. The Wildcats, top to bottom, all black. Called a strike on the outside corner. Count is full. Kastner works her way into another full count situation as she looks to strike out the side here in the bottom half of the second inning. Kastner winds and delivers the payoff pitch. Fouled away. Bannon will keep it alive. Somebody from Western, looks like Anna Hook's on the way to retrieve that foul ball. We'll try the payoff pitch one more time here to Bannon, and that's going to be strike three. Bannon thought she might have had ball four, but I can tell you from here that was way too close to take. Kastner strikes out the side, and we are headed to the top of the third. The Vikings lead 1-0. Wales will stand in now. On the ground, a second. Carpenter fields the throw to first. One pitch, one out. Back to the top of the order for the second baseman. Now batting the second baseman, number 20, Chantel Shimabukuro. Shimabukuro on the morning still, not quite noon. 0 for 1, struck out looking. To lead off the ball game. And takes the first pitch she sees here. In the top half of the third, it's 1-0. That one misses. It's 2 balls, no strikes. The Vikings leadoff hitter. The lineup now has turned back over. It's top of the order for the Vikings, and Dakota Brooks did some damage back in the first with a solo shot to right center field. The 2-0 from Stanfield. Swing and a miss. Oh, excuse me, a foul tip, 2-1. Back into the mid of Benthagen. On the ground towards short. Brown fields the throw across in plenty of time to retire Shimabukuro, and that is out number 2 on the inning. Now batting the shortstop, number 19, Tatum Dow. Oh for 1 on the day is Dow, flew out to left in the first. Would certainly like to reverse her fortune here in her second at-bat. The first pitch, a called strike, 0-1. Dow looks a little frustrated, I think, with herself on that one. Had squared around. Oh, she'll do it again here, pulls back. And that's just off the outside corner. It's 1-1 the count. That's going to be upstairs. Two balls, one strike. The Vikings shortstop. That one misses and only just. 3 balls and a strike. Maddie Zur a little frustrated over at first. Skied up, and it will be just out of play. Benthagen and Zur, as well as Stanfield coming over, try to make a play on that one. Instead, the count runs full, 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Three balls, 2 strikes. On the ground, a short. Brown fields it on the hop. The throw across. One shortstop grounds out to another. As we end the top half of the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. Vikings lead it 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. Grace Dwyer will lead off for Central. Bottom half of the third inning. Dwyer leading off for the Wildcats. Kasner fires a strike over the inside corner. Kasner has been off to a very good start here in this one. 3 strikeouts for her. No hits and just the 1 walk, so the perfect game is out of the question. The 0-1 called a strike, 0-2 as it finds the outside. I should say the outside half of the plate. That was most definitely a strike. And the count's 0-2. Dwyer 2 for 6 on the season with a double and 2 driven in. Ahead of that one as she fouls it off towards Allison Mitchell in the third base coach's box. Swing and a miss from Dwyer. Strikeout number 4 for Kasner. There's 1 away. Now batting the left fielder, number 18, Allie Cruz. First pitch misses. Count is 1-0 to the Wildcats left fielder. Cruz on the season 2 for 4. She scored 3 runs, driven in 2 and walked twice. Also swiped 2 bags, part of a 10 stolen base weekend for the Wildcats against the Loggers. And that one sets them on top Division 2 as well. And that will be a single into center, so the no-hitter survived 2 1/3 as the lineup card flips back over for Central. Now batting, the center fielder, number 20, Allie Thiessen. Thiessen 0 for 0 on the day, drew a walk, and then managed to find her way over to third before she was stranded. First pitch from Kasner. Called a strike as Hardy pops up to take a look down the first baseline at Cruz. Wildcats 5 stolen bases per game right now in NCAA D2 high. And the Wildcats also came into this weekend hitting .573 as a team. Thiessen squares, pulls back, and it'll be called the ball. One and one the count. So far, the only damage done by either side was the solo home run from Brooks back in the top of the first inning. One works its way in on the hands, and Thiessen can't connect. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Thiessen chases that one upstairs and out of the strike zone. 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Now batting the second baseman, number 25, Harley Carpenter. Strikeout number 5 for Kasner. Carpenter 0 for 1, popped up a bunt back to Kasner in the first. Outside 1-0 to Carpenter. Allie Cruz gave the Wildcats their first hit of the ball game, a single back to center to lead off the inning. With 1 out. Dwyer led off the inning with a swinging strikeout. That one's outside as well. It's 2 balls, no strikes. As Kasner wheels her way around the circle. Two-0. Skied straight up on the infield, coming in and making the grab will be Shimabukuro. And that is out number 3. The Wildcats do get 1 hit, but they leave it stranded. It's 1-0 as we head to the top of the 4th. Top of the 4th, Dakota Brooks will lead things off against Samantha Stanfield. Brooks 1 for 1 on the day. Had that home run in the first to right center field. Nice little poke to get the Vikings their first run of the ball game, and that's been all the offense so far for either side. 2 hits for the Vikings, 1 for the Wildcats. And just the 1 run scored. That one skips in off of Benthagen. And Brooks kind of tracked it down for her. That's one thing I never did. You're going to go find that ball yourself as a catcher. Two balls, no strikes on the Vikings first baseman. That one curls in for a strike. You see Brooks buckle just a little bit there, I think expecting something faster on the 2-0 count. Stanfield opting to go to the off speed. Now the 2-1. That one misses somewhere. And that gets a very hard throwback from Benthagen behind the plate. And that is almost assuredly a sign that she did not agree. A 3-1 offering from Stanfield. Called a strike, 3-2. That one finds the upper echelon of the strike zone. Stanfield now at the half-century mark, 28 of them strikes. Payoff pitch. Down in the dirt, ball 4. Stanfield loses her, and that will bring up the pitcher, Anna Kasner. Now batting, the pitcher number 7, Anna Kasner. Kasner looking to help herself out here in the top half of the 4th. Brooks draws the leadoff walk. Good thing this isn't American League Baseball, or this would be a sacrifice bunt. Actually, it would be 3 strikes, and that would be it. National League might get one down. First pitch to Kasner, a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. I had a blast this week looking at gifs of former Braves pitcher Mike Fultonwich at the dish and his pirouette whenever he swings. He was a former Major League Baseball player who commented and asked how that swing could have 14 career hits. As that one's upstairs, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. I think as far as pitcher swings goes, Fulte was right up there with Daisuke Matsuzaka when Matsuzaka played for the Red Sox. Daisuke actually got a chance to stand in against Randy Johnson at the tail end of Johnson's career. As that's on the outside corner, it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kasner. Pitcher on pitcher here. Stanfield looking for the inning's first out. That one's going to be low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, does everybody have stirrups on the Vikings? They do. Good to see we're bringing back some of that stirrup and varied socks as this is dribbled back to the mound. Stanfield's going to go to 2. It'll be a snow cone out at second as Brown was able to hang on for the inning's first out. And time is going to be called. Yes. We're going to have a chit-chat here about whether or not Brown caught that ball. And it will be the inning's first out. Now batting the center fielder, number 8, Lauren Lowe. So Kasner, unfortunately, goes 0 for 1 in that at-bat. Unable to move the runner over. Put her in a scoring position. Stanfield had all the time in the world to stop and think. Immediately, her first thought was go to first and retire Kasner. But she was able to spin and throw to second. That one's upstairs, 1-0. Kasner hit that one just a bit too hard back to the circle. Probably a step to the left or the right. And that runner would be on second, and Kasner would have been retired. This is on the ground and foul. Stanfield lets her defense get back to their positions. One ball, 1 strike. That one bounces in. Runner going. The throw from Benthagen is going to take a bounce over Carpenter's glove. And then Thiessen spikes it into the ground. We'll mark it a wild pitch in the scorebook. Benthagen's throw, though, from her knees there, a 1-hop to Carpenter. That's a very nice throw. And in reality, that's got to be handled. as a catcher, that's one of the hops you love. Just that hop just short of the bag as the count goes to 2-2 on Lowe. Especially when you're making the throw from the knees. Stanfield checking the wristband. It's 2-2 to the Vikings center fielder. This is on the ground right side. Carpenter Fields will flip to first for out number 2. Kasner advances to third, so with 2 down, the Vikings have a runner over on third for Marino. First pitch to Marino. Off speed, and it'll miss. Where, I don't know. But it is too early in the strike zone in the season for that small of a strike zone. Call the strike, 1-1. A 1-1. Foul back at the backstop, and it will go off the bleachers. As both teams' reserves hanging on the outside of the fences this year. You got to keep your heads up if you're in that area. 1-2 the count to the Vikings' third baseman. Off the inside corner, Marino slides out of the way. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2's across the top of the scoreboard. Ooh, off speed, stayed upstairs. Marino able to foul it back to the backstop. That is a pitch that looks absolutely phenomenal coming at you in the batter's box. Looks like a beach ball coming at you. The 2-2 now one more time. Check swing, she did go around. Stanfield will pick up the strikeout to strand Kasner at third. Heading to the bottom of the 4th, the Vikings lead 1-0. Teresa Moyle will lead things off for Central when we return. Bottom half of the fourth inning, Moyle will lead off. 0 for 1 on the day. Hit a dribbler over to first and was tagged out by Brooks in her first at-bat. I don't know where that one missed, but it's 1-0. A 1-0 from Kasner. Outside and high, 2 balls, no strikes. Kasner at 49 pitches, 27 of them strikes. Should she throw a strike on this next pitch, then she and Stanfield will be right along the same pace in this ball game. Two-0. Dancing out of the way with that back foot is Moyle. It's 3 balls, no strikes. Barrio offering from Kasner. 3-1 as the get me over pitch is in for a strike. Just 3 combined hits so far. 2 of them for the Vikings, and of course the one from Dakota Brooks was a solo home run back in the top of the first inning, and that's been the game's only offense. Ball 4 to Moyle. The leadoff hitter draws the walk, and now Zur. Now batting the first baseman, number 19, Maddie Zur. Oh for 1 on the day for the Wildcats' first baseman. She flew out to left field. Hardy pops up, taking a look over at first at Moyle. Moyle does have 1 stolen base on the year. Here's the 1-0 from Kasner. In the air, that'll be shallow left field. Catch will be made for the inning's first out by Tatum Dow, and that will bring up Alyssa Benthagen. Now batting the catcher, number 16, Alyssa Benthagen. Seen quite a few sky-high pop-ups in this one. Now with 1 down in the bottom of the 4th. Moyle on it first. 1-0 as that one misses. Looks like a little bit of action in the Vikings bullpen. Starting to loosen up is Sydney Brown, the right-hander. Right now, just a little bit of stretch and catch over there. Benthagen fouls that one away. Kasner dropped down to a knee, and Brooks is going to come check on her. Looks like a little bit of laughter there. I don't know if Kasner tripped or if she thought the runner was going. Either way, though, she is okay. Here's the 1-1. In the air to right center field. That one is going to be out of here. A 2-run blast for Alyssa Benthagen, and now the Wildcats lead it 2-1. Now batting, the shortstop, number 23, Sydney Brown. With one swing of the bat, it's 2-1 Wildcats, and now the only offense in this one has come on a pair of home runs with just 4 total hits, 2 apiece. Benthagen just went with that one, a pitch just a little up on the outer half of the plate and poked it over the right center field fence, almost the same spot as Brooks back in the first. Swinging first pitch is Brown as she fouls it off 0-1. And somebody's out there to retrieve it. I think that's Keegan Wise. Yeah, it's Keegan. He makes her way back now from beyond the outfield fence as that one twists inside on Brown, and it's 1-1. And now the Vikings, Sydney Brown, starts to throw and loosen a little bit quicker in the bullpen. This is popped up, third baseline foul. And the catch will be made over in front of the face of the dugout for out number 2. Now batting, the designated player, number 15, Lacey Bannon. Bannon, 0 for 1 on the day, struck out looking back in the second inning when Kasner struck out the side in order. She'll take the first pitch. It's a strike 0-1. That's fouled back and out of play. The count against Bannon 0-2. Oh, 2 offering from Kasner. On the ground, a short. That is fielded cleanly, and a sidearm sling over to first will retire Bannon. The Wildcats, however, do get across a pair on the home run from Benthagen. It's 2-1. Wildcats lead as we head to the top of the 5th. Top of the fifth inning. It'll be Palmer to lead things off. Leading off, the right fielder, number 5, Mackenzie Palmer. On the day, Palmer 0 for 1, struck out swinging back in the top half of the second inning. Squares around, and that's a late strike call. 0-1. Squaring around and pulling back. That one stays upstairs. It's 1 ball, 1 strike, 39 strikes and 69 pitches for Stanfield. Wind picking up a little bit. I can see the either ribbon or the mask straps in Stanfield's hair blowing around now. As that one skipped in, it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Palmer steps back in. Stanfield checks the wristband and delivers. That one bounces in. 3 balls and 1 strike. On the ground, weakly back towards the circle, and Stanfield will not have a throw. It's the second infield single of the day for the Vikings. Now batting, the left fielder, number 9, Torrey McDowell. A little swinging bunt there from Palmer, and she is aboard as the inning's leadoff hitter. And the Vikings would sure like to scratch one across here in this one to even this game up. That one's low and inside as it bends around the plate. McDowell kicks the back foot out. Brown still throwing in the Vikings bullpen. The 1-0. On the ground, left side. Brown will field it. Has no choice but to go to second. And well in was Palmer. So mark an infield single, and everybody advances. Still nobody out. Now batting, the designated player, number 18, Riley Wales. Time is going to be called as Tracy Taney will head to the circle. 3 infield hits now for the Vikings, all of them perfectly placed. Not a whole lot you can do about it as a pitcher or an infielder. Home plate umpire is going to go break up the rendezvous in the circle. It was always one of my least favorite parts of being an umpire, was going out and having to break out a conference either on the mound or in the circle, because as soon as you start walking out there, generally, unless the manager has something to say to you, they'll break it up by the time you're about halfway out there. And you can't just yell at them from home plate either. Here's Wales. Time called. And the home plate umpire made his way to the first base dugout. An artificial noise warning. Okay. That's right, because the NCAA did put in some of those rules. Okay, first pitch bounces in. Benthagen keeps it close. It's 1-0. That's a rule I've not heard in quite some time. I'm guessing it had to do with banging on the chain link, as that one is ripped foul. Gentlemen on the baseball field might have to look out if that one escaped the netting. 1-1 the count. Riley Wales standing in. Samantha Stanfield about to make pitch number 77. In the air, down the line, and that's going to be fair. One run is going to come around a score, and it is an RBI double. McDowell advances to third. Palmer comes around a score, and this one is tied 2-2. Now batting, the second baseman, number 20, Chantel Shimabukuro. Back to the top of the order for the Vikings. Shimabukuro 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Struck out looking in the first, grounded out to short in the third. And the Wildcats' lead is short-lived. The Vikings use the next opportunity they get to go ahead and tie game one up. First pitch is fouled away. There is some action in the Wildcats bullpen now as well. Isabel Womack warming up for Central in the bullpen. I can't see down the third base line behind the dugout, so I have to rely on the rest of the eyes in the press box. The 0-1 upstairs, 1-1. This will be pitch number 80 for Stanfield. She's got 44 strikes. One foul backing over the press box. 1-2. Five hits now for Western Washington. Just two of them for extra bases. The home run by Brooks back in the first inning, and then Riley Wales' double here just a batter ago. A 1-2. That one misses low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Squaring around, Shimabukuro. She will Pull that back on the ground. Stanfield got a glove to it, and it's going to be a single. And the Vikings will take a 3-2 lead. McDowell scores. Wales cannot advance, however. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Dow. Now batting the shortstop, number 19, Tatum Dow. And Allison Mitchell will make her way to the circle, so the Wildcats will be going to the bullpen. We'll take a short break. The Vikings lead it 3-2 in the top of the fifth. So Womack takes over. Bunt is down from Dow. Dwyer will flip to first. And that is the inning's first out. As everybody advances. Now batting the first baseman, number 24, Dakota Brooks. And that will bring up Brooks, who has a home run on the day. Womack winds and delivers. That one's outside. Previous play, one of those. That's why I say pitchers aren't athletes. Not that they aren't, it's I don't want them to be. If it's out of really shoulder width away from you, don't touch it. Off speed finds the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Vikings first baseman. No more action in the Vikings bullpen. Brown has sat down. I don't know whether she is warm or whether she's just done throwing, but she's got the jacket on now. That one misses in and upstairs. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1. Call the strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled away. Count as 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. The first baseman down for out number 2, and now Kasner will stand in. Now batting the pitcher number 7, Anna Kasner. Kasner currently has a 1-run lead to take care of when she heads back out in the bottom half of the inning. And I'm sure she would like to extend that here, give herself a little more breathing room. Off speed. Kind of floats in there above the strike zone, 1-0. The 1-0. Fouled away. That one bangs off one of the levels of the bleachers here. As Keegan Wise will track it down. The 1-1 now to Kasner as it's pitcher v. pitcher. Outside 2-1. 3 runs on 6 hits and an error for the Vikings. 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors thus far for the Wildcats. The 2-1. Upstairs, 3 balls, 1 strike. First base is open. Would not be the worst thing in the world to walk Kasner here with 2 outs. The 3-1. Called the strike. Kasner was about a step and a half towards first. The count runs full. The payoff pitch. Well outside and high, ball 4. The bases are loaded now with 2 down. And now batting the center fielder, number 8, Lauren Lowe. Steps to the plate. A real chance to do some damage here. A single scores 1, maybe 2. But an extra base hit with 2 outs might bring across all 3 runners if you put it in a gap or down the line. Ball 1. But what you don't want to do is force a run in via the free pass. 2 things you can't defend against, that's walks and home runs. Here's the 1-0 from Womack. Floats in and misses. 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0 fired over the inner half. Righty on lefty here. Bases loaded and 2 down in the top of the 5th. Vikings leading 3-2. This is on the ground towards second. Oh, that is going to be runner interference as Kasner barrels into Carpenter. Absolutely no awareness there from Kasner. Carpenter's okay. And that's the inning's third out. We'll be right back after this. Bottom half of the fifth inning, Dwyer swinging at the first pitch. She sees it shallow center, and the catch will be made for the inning's first out. Had to get a little help from Jeff Evans over at Western to score that last out in the top half of the inning. Now batting the left fielder, number 18, Allie Cruz. And Kasner just barreling through Harley Carpenter. There's some hockey players that might want to take notes on how to throw a body check. First pitch to Cruz finds the strike zone 0-1. Vikings lead it 3-2. They got a pair of run-scoring hits in the last inning. An RBI double from Wales, and then an RBI single from Shimabukuro, a ball that Sam Stanfield tried to play and ended up deflecting it away from Sidney Brown, a Wildcat shortstop. On the ground, right side, Shimabukuro over to first. And 2 up, 2 down so far in the bottom of the fifth. Now batting the center fielder, number 20, Allie Thiessen. Allie Thiessen will stand in. Kasner up to 67 pitches, 39 of them strikes. And Thiessen tries to get a bunt down. That was up around the eyes. Not an ideal pitch to bunt at. Thiessen 0 for 1 on the day, struck out swinging in the third, drew a walk in the first. one is upstairs, counts 1-1. And now some movement in the Vikings bullpen again. Secondary catcher putting the gear on. And it looks like Kira Doan may start to get loose out there for Western. Fouled off the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kasner has allowed just 2 runs on 2 hits. The 2-run home run from Benthagen. Up and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kasner with 5 strikeouts, 2 of them have gone by way of the backwards K. 6 flyouts and 3 groundouts through 4 2/3. Yeah, those flyouts really can be mostly called pop-outs, as this one is into center, and it's going to be dropped. Thiessen's going to try for second, and she will be in. With 2 away, a runner in scoring position for Central. Now batting the second baseman, number 25, Harley Carpenter. Time called now by Erica Hardy as she goes out to have a chit-chat with Brooks and Kasner. Carpenter, I'm sure, would like a little revenge here after getting barreled over in the last inning. Second error defensively for the Vikings. Called the strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Kasner winds and delivers. 0-2. Just about the same place as the last one. Kasner attacking the outside corner. Now the 0-2. On a ground to second, and that will retire Carpenter as one second baseman grounds out to the other. It's still 3-2 Vikings. The Wildcats leave one stranded. Top 6 after this when we return. Top of the sixth, Marino leading things off for the Vikings. Rainey Harris up in the bullpen for Central. Doan throwing for the Vikings. Get into the late stages of this ball game. Now the bullpens are going to be very active on both sides. The Vikings, 3 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors defensively, though they have not had to pay for them as of yet. The Wildcats just 2 runs on 2 hits, and it was a 2-run home run from Benthagen that put their runs on the board. 2-0 the count from Womack. 8 strikes out of 18 pitches for the right-hander. Divide by 2, 4 of 9? Maybe? Sure. I've never claimed to be good at math. That one blocked by the Wildcats backstop. Count runs 3-0, and now Benthagen going to step out in front of the plate here. Offer some words of encouragement to her battery mate. As we have just now eclipsed the 2-hour mark in this one. The 3-0. Low and away, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to start the inning. Now batting, the right fielder, number 5, Mackenzie Palmer. Palmer 1 for 2, singled and scored back in the 5th. Struck out swinging in the 2nd. Squares around, gets the bunt down. It's right on the line. Dwyer's got nowhere to go. And it's a bunt single. Now batting, the left fielder, number 9, Tori McDowell. Tori McDowell up. Seems that somehow in the last year or 2, maybe 3, softball games have gone from the 1.5 hour 45 to 2:15, 2:30 now. Talking with some of my colleagues, we're still unsure how we got here. We don't know when or where it happened, but the games have gone longer. This is on the ground. Carpenter dives, snags it, and she's not going to be able to make the throw to second, and the run is going to score on the play. So let's mark that. We'll come back to that in a second. That's a tough one. Now batting, the designated player, number 18, Riley Wales. It's a fielder's choice for McDowell. Palmer advances, and Marino advances and scores on the throwing error. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. On a line and just over the glove of Sydney Brown. The throw into third. They got her. That is an unfortunate play for Wales, who reaches but will not get credit for the single, as out at third is Palmer, 7-5. Now batting, the second baseman, number 20, Chantel Shimabukuro. After consulting with Jeff Evans, we will change the fielder's choice to a single for McDowell. Marino still scores on the throwing error and is unearned. Count to Shimabukuro is 1-0. It's a tough play for Carpenter. I don't know if she would have had her at first had she opted for that way. Tyler Unsicker says no, so we'll definitely go with single there. And that's 9 hits now on the day for Western. They lead 4-2. It has been a series of unfortunate events for Central Washington. Bounces in. Shimabukuro is going to hold the runners, though. Three balls, no strikes, the count. I have to imagine the leash is going to be pretty short here at this point for Womack. It is still a winnable ball game for Central, down just by 2. 3-1 over for a strike, 3-0 over for a strike. It's 3-1. On a line, Carpenter flashing the leather again. Makes the diving grab. Worley inning second out. No betting, the shortstop, number 19, Tatum Dow. Dow 0 for 3, a fly out to left, a ground out to the shortstop, and a ground out to third. Womack winds and delivers. First pitch, a called strike, 0-1. Strike zone has expanded here a little bit late in the game. Pitcher's now getting the benefit of that outside. Black. The 0-1. In the air, foul territory. Zur will make the grab about a step from the dugout. The Vikings get 1 run on 2 hits. They're helped along by 1 error. They leave 2 stranded. It's 4-2 as Moyle leads off when we return. Bottom of the 6th inning, Moyle stands in. 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out to Brooks in the first. Walked and scored in the 4th. Came around on Bentagen's 2-run home run. That one's off the inside corner. The 1-0. Kasner still dealing. That one misses. The 2-0. Bends into the strike zone. 2-1. Two balls, one strike to Moyle. Pitch number 79 for Kasner. Doan looks fairly ready in the bullpen now. He's ready and waiting. This is on the ground, and that'll be 4. Moyle's going to go into second, and that one's going to come off of her. She's not going to go to third. Now batting, the first baseman, number 19, Maddie Zur. The Vikings will come together in the circle. Shimabukuro olays that one. And Moyle will stand at second. Third error of the afternoon for the Vikings. Runner on second and nobody out for Maddie Zur. Zur 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to left, popped up to shallow left center. And it was caught by the shortstop. First pitch misses 1-0. Inside 2-0 to Zur. Brooks coming in to check on her pitcher there. Doan has hastened up in the bullpen, trying to get those final pitches in. Here's the 2-0. Call the strike, 2-1 to Zur. The Vikings have stranded 7, the Wildcats 3. Through 5.5 innings of play. Three and 1. Kasner missed her spot there. Three ball, one strike offering. Kasner looking into the dugout. Checks the wristband. And delivers. Ball 4. First 2 hitters aboard for the Wildcats. And Benthagen will come up after hitting the 2-run home run in her last at-bat. But the Wildcats looks like they're going to make a change on the base path. Sydney Williams going to come on. She will run at first base for Maddie Zur. Now running at first base, number 22, Sydney Williams. Now batting the catcher, number 16, Alyssa Benthagen. My apologies, my allergies have kicked in. It's officially spring. I might as well be Punxsutawney Phil. We don't need the groundhog when you've got me. If my allergies kick in, it's officially springtime. Looks like Kira Doan is ready to go in the Vikings bullpen. Nobody out and 2 aboard. This will be pitch number 85 for Kasner. Currently at 84 with 48 strikes. First pitch finds the inside half of the plate, 0-1. Same spot, 1-1. One count. The Wildcats catcher, Kasner, winds and delivers. That one looked to be in the same spot as pitches 1 and 2. There's not a third option, so it goes in as a ball. Two balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 2 strikes. Kasner battles back to even the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 on. This is off the handle, and it's going to get down, and it dies. Looks like a line drive in the box score, I guess. Now batting, the shortstop, number 23, Sydney Brown. I'm actually going to have to take a second to think about that one. Wow. And the Wildcats, another change on the base path. Now running at first base, number 5, Sasha Mitchell. Ben Tagan with an infield single. Everybody moves up. Freshman Sasha Mitchell makes an appearance here in Game 1. Sydney Brown stands in. Mitchell over at first. Williams at second. A pair of pinch runners for the Wildcats as Teresa Moyle is over at third. The bases are loaded with nobody out. Nowhere for Brown to go. The 1-0. Called the strike 1-1. As Kasner finds the inner half of the strike zone. Same spot as the one before, 1-2. Kasner working that inner half against Brown here. Here's the 1-2. Off the hands, and it'll get down foul. Kasner trying to get out of this one without any damage. But there are no outs. She has allowed 3 hits. That one's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hardy did the best she could to make that one look a little bit better. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Infield pulled tight, hitter's delight. Here's the 2-2 from Kasner. That one off the thigh. And that's going to bring a runner home. Now batting, the designated player, number 15, Lacey Bannon. Bannon 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out looking in the second. Grounded out to the shortstop in the fourth. Infield tight again with nobody out. Swing and a miss from Bannon. One of the very few times she will offer at the first pitch of an at-bat. Here's the 0-1 from Kasner. Outside, Hardy slides away to grab it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bannon, the Wildcats' designated player. Last weekend filled in over at first base in game number 2. In the air, right side. That's going to be shallow. It's going to get down. Williams is going to score. Mitchell's going to hold Mitchell at third. And that is going to be the game's tying run. It's 4-4. Now batting, the third baseman, number 3, Grace Dwyer. 98 pitches, 56 of them strikes for Kasner. The bases are still loaded with nobody out. 4-4 ball game, 9 hits for the Vikings, 4 for Central. Defensively, 3 errors for Western, 1 for Central. First pitch to Dwyer, a called strike, 0-1. On deck is Allie Cruz. Middle infield still pulled tight for the Vikings. That one's foul back at the backstop. 0-2 on Dwyer. The first out of the inning is going to be a big one for the Vikings as that puts the double play in order to end the inning. Right now you could roll a tailor-made double play, and as long as that first out doesn't come to the plate, there's a good chance the Wildcats take the lead. The 0-2 to Dwyer. Sliding outside is Hardy to keep that one close, 1-2. Both catchers have done a very good job in this one behind the plate. We've only had 1 wild pitch total, and nary a pass ball. The 1-2. Popped up. Foul and out of play over the top of us here in the press box. The 1-2. Bounces in. Hardy keeps it close. 2-2. Bases loaded for Dwyer. Brown hit by a pitch. She's at second has an RBI. Bannon over at first had the bloop. Single and down looking goes Dwyer on a pitch on the outside corner for the inning's first out, and it's a big one. Now batting, the left fielder, number 18, Allie Cruz. Cruz, 1 for 2 on the day, singled back in the third, grounded out to second in the fifth. And with a tie game here in the bottom of the sixth inning and just one away, I'm sure she's looking to drive one out of the infield. And that pitch is called a strike. Oh, and 1. Kasner looking for a ground ball to roll up a twin killing. 1-1. 106 pitches now in the afternoon for Kasner. The 1-1. 2-1 as it missed off the corner. There are a few too many backwards strikeouts in the scorebook for Central to my liking. That one's right down the pipe. It's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 away and the base is loaded. The Wildcats have already scored twice on the inning. On a line, that one's going to get down. The flip to third. They will get 1, but Mitchell comes around to score. And we have seen some weird hit balls today. No batting, the center fielder, number 20, Allie Thiessen. This is pop foul for the first pitch of the at-bat off the handle. Wildcats leading 5-4. They've pushed across 3 in the inning. One and one. That one missing. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Thiessen Trying to get her first hit of the game, 0 for 2. Struck out swinging, has a walk, and reached on an error. Here's the 2-1. Foul back and away, 2-2. Coming up, pitch 114. Kasner is still allowed just 4 hits. She struck out 6, walked 3. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. 2s across the scoreboard. Kasner upstairs, count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch. Out of play. Thiessen stays alive. We'll reset and try the 3-2 one more time. And I don't know where that missed, but it loads the bases. Now batting, the second baseman, number 25, Harley Carpenter. Time is going to be called. And it looks like the Vikings are going to go to the bullpen here. They will. Kira Doan will come on. We'll be right back after this here from Ellensburg. Well, the book not fully closed on Kasner. 5 2/3, 4 runs, 5 runs, 4 hits. Reading the wrong side of the box score. She is still responsible for the 3 runners on base. And swinging first pitch is Carpenter, and she will foul out to end the inning. We'll be back, top of the 7th after this. Top of the 7th inning, Central pushes across 3 in the bottom half to go up 5-4. Womack back out to start the top of the 7th. And she will face Dakota Brooks. First pitch called a strike, 0-1. Oh, and 1 to count to Brooks. Womack delivers. That one bounces somewhere around the plate, 1-1. One on the way. 2 balls, 1 strike. Small armies have been left on by both sides today. 7 for the Vikings, 6 for the Wildcats. Make it 3-1 to Brooks from Womack. Rainey Harris was throwing in the last inning for Central in the bullpen. The 3-1. That'll be ball 4. Brooks will get the leadoff walk. And now the pitcher, Kira Doan, will stand in. No, maybe not. Maybe we'll have a pinch hitter instead. No, it's going to be a runner at first. Willenberg will run. Now batting the pitcher, number 23, Kira Doan. So Doan's going to try to help her cause here. Upstairs, 1-0. Time called behind home plate by Alyssa Benthagen. One-0 call to strike, 1-1 to Doan. The 1-1. Late strike call, 1-2. Brooks led off the inning with a walk. Lillenberg came in to run for her. Now the 1-2. Fouled away. Doan stays alive. Womack toes the rubber. They get the signs, rather the call out from the Wildcats dugout. Now another 1-2 from Womack. Check swing. They're going to try it. Benthagen wanted some help. Home plate umpire not going to ask for it. The 2-2. Got her looking on one at the top of the strike zone. And that is the inning's first out. Now batting the center fielder, number 8, Lauren Lowe. Stanfield, 2 1/3 innings so far, 3 hits, 1 run. That run not earned. Has struck out a pair and walked 3. First pitch bounces in and a good hand save there from Benthagen. Not necessarily the way you draw it up as a catcher to swat that down with your throwing hand, but do what it takes to get the job done. Now the 1-0. That's called a ball. Must be the top half of an inning. 2-0 the count. A 2-0. Swing and a miss from Lowe. Big cut there. Now the 2-1. 3-1. That one high, says the home plate umpire. The 3-1 offering. Ball 4. So everybody advances. Took a minute, but we got there. Now batting the third baseman, number 14, Megan Marino. Reminds me of Manny Ramirez hitting for the Red Sox. Dan Duquette, the former Red Sox general manager, noticed back in Manny's early days with the Red Sox that there were multiple times when the umpire had to say, hey, I'm Manny, you got to go to first. That was ball 4. And after seeing it quite a few times, as that one misses, Duquette finally went to ask Manny and said, hey, Manny, I've noticed, the umpire kind of has to send you down to first base on some walks. And he said, what's up with that? And Manny said, I don't pay attention to the balls in the count. And Dan asked him, okay, well, what about strikes? And Manny says, well, not until there's 2. He was just looking for something to hit. And as Marino fouls that one off, it's 1-1. That was kind of the case there, as Lauren Lowe was definitely ready to see a pitch or 2 more. But for now, there's runners on first and second with 1 away. The Wildcats leading 5-4 over the Vikings. 2 balls and a strike. 51 pitches, 22 strikes for Womack, just below that 50% mark. The 2-1. Up and in, 3 balls and a strike. And now Allison Mitchell's going to come out of the dugout and have a chit-chat with her battery here. Infield's going to converge in the circle as well. Just the 1 out in the inning. There have been a lot of base runners in this contest for the Vikings, 9 hits. And they've also been the beneficiary of 5 free passes. And here is Marino with a 3-1. A walk would load the bases. A single might drive a run in. An extra base hit definitely scores 1. The 3-1. Called a strike, and Marino thought it was ball 4. I think a few people did. Count is full 3-2. The payoff pitch. Same spot, got her looking. She's not happy about it, and with reason to be so. And a pinch hitter for the Vikings. Palmer is not going to hit. Instead, it'll be Brooke Fesenbeck. Pinch hitting for the Vikings, number 44, Brooke Fesenbeck. So both teams going to the benches late here in this one. Wildcats doing it with pinch runners with Mitchell and Williams. And the Vikings going to get some help off the bench here with Fesenbeck. In the air and through on the right side. Here comes Moyle, the throw to the plate. They're going to hold the runners. Moyle has a very strong arm out there from right. And now the bases are going to be loaded. And we're going to have a re-entry over at first, so Palmer will come back in. Re-entering at first base, number 5, Mackenzie Palmer. Now batting the left fielder, number 9, Torrey McDowell. McDowell stands in. First pitch to McDowell, Womack. They will ask, and yes, she did go around, 0-1. A half-hearted attempt there, tried to pull back but could not. Again, that pitch upstairs looks like a beach ball coming at you. Except, spoiler alert, not a lot of people can get up there and get it. It's a tough pitch to hit, but it looks very good coming out of the hand. Here's the 0-1. In the air, left center field. Thiessen will roam over and make the grab. The Vikings leave him stranded. The bases loaded. They get one hit on the inning. It's 5-4. The final here from Ellensburg in game number 1. We'll be back in roughly 30 to 45 minutes with game number 2.